distant, they create a room and is bonding with somebody else. They create a room for that bonding to move from just emotion to being just emotional to becoming even physical. Has Lupita healed significantly for whatever hardship she experienced in a past relationship to be in this new relationship? And love is much more than physical. It's emotional. Welcome to this blooming room. My name is Coach Chinyere. The saga that's happening between Lupita Nyong and her apparent involvement in Joshua's life. Joshua is the ex-husband of Jodie Turner Smith. I think that it's important to draw several insights into what's happening. And there are three things I want to point out here. For those of you who don't know, Jodie was the one who first proposed to Joshua several years ago, and then Joshua, trying to be the man, counter proposed and gave her a ring, and then they got married. At that time, she was pregnant with their only daughter together. She's about 4 years old now. However, I do not know the details between what happened in the relationship between Jodie and Joshua to cause them to be going through this period of divorce, because Jodie was the one who asked for the divorce. There are three things I want to point out here. Oftentimes, cheating does not always have to be physical. Oftentimes, cheating is emotional before it becomes physical. So apparently, it appears that they had some sort of friendship, but whatever it is, perhaps they had an emotional bonding, an emotional intimacy before. Because if Lupita, according to sources, if Lupita broke up, Daily Mail and Atlanta Black Star, if Lupita broke up with her boyfriend Selema in October, and the same October was the time that she was first spotted out publicly with Joshua, the timeline doesn't gel. So did she have feelings for him before she broke up with Selema? I understand that she was deeply hurt by whatever happened between she and Selema, but it just appears that some things are not just taken right. So was she the other woman in Joshua and Jodie's relationship? Because the problem is when there is another individual involved in a relationship and a husband and a wife are having issues with one another, the tendency for them to be able to reconcile and perhaps move on with that relationship becomes significantly much more difficult if there is somebody else who is much more emotionally invested with the one or the other partner, and so they feel like they have someone that they can lean on. It decreases the option that they might want to walk away. So the first thing I want to say is, if one partner is emotionally distant, they create a room and is bonding with somebody else. They create a room for that bonding to move from just emotion to being just emotional to becoming even physical. Now, number two, rebound love, because a lot of people are saying, could it be rebound love? Could it be rebound love? Rebound love is very tricky because it could be escapism. If, according to Lupita, she was deeply hurt by Salema, like I said initially, and all of a sudden now she's in Joshua's life and they're out together snuggling and muggling, then you understand that has she healed? Because you have to heal before you deal. Has Lupita healed significantly for whatever hardship she experienced in a past relationship to be in this new relationship and be very vested? And the third thing I want to say is dangerous to have our noses in another a woman or man's marriage. Make sure as women that we are not part of the breakup. We're not part of that situation in that marriage. Okay? Because it's very important. And I think I just want to draw these three things because oftentimes we allow ourselves to be so carried away. Love is much more than physical. It's emotional, it is spiritual, it is if both of them are trauma bonding, they are bonding because of their traumatic experiences, then the foundations of that relationship become shaky. That's just my 2 cents that I want to pick out. I'm sorry to see all of these people in this entanglement situation being hurt by one another, but it's very, very important that timelines are very important. We need to heal before we start dragging ourselves into other people's arms and other people's beds. In my view, I think that Lupita jumped on too quickly and too soon. But we'll see how it goes. That's just my 2 cents. Have a blessed day.